Sabook, your shortcut to knowledge in minutes.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we're all about unlocking smarter ways to live, work, and connect. Today, we're diving into one of the most revolutionary books of our time, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. This book isn't just about working less, it's about living more. Ferriss challenges the traditional idea that success means working harder, longer, and waiting until retirement to enjoy life. Instead, he shows us how to escape the 9-to-5 grind, design a lifestyle filled with freedom, and focus only on what truly matters. He calls it lifestyle design, and it's all about creating a life that works for you, not one that controls you. So, get comfortable because we're about to explore the ideas that have inspired millions of people to rethink work, money, and time itself. Tim Ferriss begins with a bold idea. The goal isn't to be busy, the goal is to be free. Most people live what he calls the deferred life plan. We work 40 years, saving up so that one day, maybe, we can retire and finally do what we love. But Ferriss asks, why wait? Why not build a life you don't need a vacation from now? The 4-Hour Workweek is built around 4 key steps, which he calls DEAL. That stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. Let's break it down. The first step is definition. This is where you redefine success. Ferriss says most people chase money or status, but what they really want is freedom. He encourages us to stop asking, how can I make more money? And start asking, what do I actually want to do with my time and energy? Because money without time is meaningless. He introduces the concept of the new rich. People who use time and mobility, not just money, as their measure of wealth. The new rich focus on designing their lives around what they love, traveling, learning, spending time with family, building creative projects, instead of working endless hours for a paycheck. They don't wait for someday. They start designing now. The next step is elimination. This is where Ferriss gets radical. He argues that most of what we do every day is a waste of time. He introduces the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto law. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So instead of trying to do everything, focus only on the few tasks that really move the needle. And here's the second key idea: be effective, not efficient. Efficiency means doing things well. Effectiveness means doing the right things. You can be incredibly efficient at something that doesn't matter. That's not success. That's just motion. Ferriss also promotes the concept of selective ignorance. You don't need to know everything, only what's truly relevant to your goals. He suggests cutting out most news, unnecessary meetings, and endless email checking, because every distraction costs you focus, and focus is your real power. Then comes automation. This is where things get exciting. Ferriss believes in building systems that earn money without needing constant attention, what he calls income autopilot. The goal isn't to be rich, it's to be free. He shows how you can use automation, outsourcing, and online businesses to create passive income streams. For example, he suggests hiring virtual assistants to handle repetitive tasks, automating bill payments, and building online products that sell while you sleep. The idea is to free your time from routine work so you can focus on living. Ferriss says, never automate something that can be eliminated, and never delegate something that can be automated. In other words, simplify first, then systematize. Automation isn't about laziness, it's about leverage. You're not escaping work, you're redesigning it. The final step is liberation. This is where you escape the traditional concept of office life and start living life on your own terms. Ferriss believes work shouldn't be tied to a specific place or schedule. If you can work remotely, travel the world, and still earn money, that's true freedom. He encourages people to negotiate remote work with their employers or create online businesses that allow them to work from anywhere. This is the core of lifestyle design: freedom of time and place. Imagine waking up in Bali, working a few focused hours in the morning, and spending the afternoon surfing or exploring, all while your automated systems keep your income flowing. That's the 4-hour workweek lifestyle. But Tim Ferriss doesn't just talk about money or travel. He talks about mindset. He challenges us to confront our fears, because fear, not lack of resources, is what holds most people back. He suggests an exercise called fear setting. Instead of setting goals, define your fears. Write down the worst things that could happen if you took a big risk, like quitting your job, starting a business, or moving abroad. Then ask yourself, 1. How likely is that worst-case scenario? 2. How could I recover if it happened? 3. What's the cost of inaction if I do nothing and keep living the same way? Most of the time, you'll realize the risks are smaller than you think, and the cost of staying stuck is far greater than the cost of change. Ferriss reminds us that the opposite of happiness isn't sadness, it's boredom. And that's why taking smart risks is essential to a meaningful life.
Another core principle of the book is mini retirements. Instead of waiting for one big retirement at 65, Ferriss suggests taking many small retirements throughout your life. Work intensely for a period, then take time off to recharge, explore, and live. Maybe that means spending 3 months abroad, learning a new language, or simply stepping away from the grind to focus on personal growth. Because life isn't meant to be delayed, it's meant to be lived. Ferriss also warns against what he calls the busy trap. We often fill our days with activity to avoid confronting the bigger questions. Am I doing what really matters? Am I happy with how I spend my time? He says being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking, and indiscriminate action. True productivity means doing less, but doing it with clarity and purpose. At the heart of the 4-hour workweek is a simple but powerful message. You don't have to live the way society expects you to. You don't have to wait until you're old to enjoy your life. You don't have to trade your time for money forever. You can choose freedom. By focusing on what truly matters, eliminating what doesn't, and designing systems that support your goals, you can live a life of purpose and adventure, starting today. Ferriss isn't promising you'll literally work only 4 hours a week, but he is promising that you can live as if you did. The real message is about creating leverage, freeing yourself from unnecessary work so you can focus on what's truly meaningful. For some people, that might mean building a business. For others, it might mean spending more time with family, traveling, or pursuing creativity. Whatever it looks like, the key is choice. The ability to decide what your life looks like without being controlled by money, routine, or fear.
So if you take one thing away from the 4-hour workweek,
let it be this. You don't need to work harder to live better. You need to live smarter. Redefine success. Eliminate the non-essential. Automate what you can. And liberate yourself from the rules that no longer serve you. Tim Ferriss leaves us with this thought. Someday is a disease that will take your dreams to the grave. If it's important to you and you want to do it eventually, do it now. Because the truth is, the perfect time will never come. You don't need permission to start living differently. You just need the courage to take the first step. So take a look at your life. Ask yourself, what's essential? What's holding me back? And what would freedom really look like for me? Because the 4-hour workweek isn't about escaping work. It's about escaping waste and replacing it with purpose, adventure, and freedom. If you enjoyed this summary of the 4-hour workweek by Tim Ferriss, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's ready to design their dream life. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and remember, the real wealth isn't money, it's time and how you choose to live it.